Today on Dirt Road Cred, we bought the very first 2025 Jeep Wrangler in the country, and you are not gonna wanna miss what we're about to do to this thing. No. We're just kidding. We're not doing all that to this Jeep. No, this one is an exciting build. We just picked this thing up yesterday. We drove it home, and right behind me is a 2025 Jeep Wrangler two-door Sport in the brand new 41 color. There was a few comments in the color video that actually said, how the heck do you guys get that on a 24? This is probably one of the only 2025 Wranglers in stock in the nation. There was a few out there. I was on Auto Trader kind of pantsering around, looking around at that, and there was a few out there. All of them say in transit and don't have real images. This one here is real, and it is now part of the DRC family. This is going to be an incredible build, something that we're super excited to have. The first part of this though, I kind of wanted to walk around the Jeep, show you exactly what it is, how it is kind of ordered out, what's on the window sticker, and then some of the differences on a 2025. And then we'll get into what our build plans are. So let's start right up front. Of course, this is a 2025 two-door Sport. One of the coolest things with a Sport is that you actually do get the brand new grille now on the 2025, unlike Ryan's 2024 Sport grille that's over there along the wall. But one of the options we added to this, which there really wasn't, I think there's maybe 3 total on this entire Jeep, it's right under this hood. This is equipped with a 2.0 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with an 8-speed automatic transmission. If you guys don't know this already, Ryan and I are massive fans of the 2-liter. I had one in my 4-door, he has it in his 2-door, and my dad has it in his 4-door Gobi. And now this makes, what, number 4 that we've owned? We love these engines. They're peppy, they're torquey, and especially on a 2-door, they make an absolute massive amount of power. So 2-liter engine up here under the hood. We are gonna do a full video comparing a 24 versus a 2025. So I'm curious to see when we park this right next to Ryan's, if there is any difference. There's a lot of people talking behind camera that there might be a change with the computer and the way that the taser works and all that fun stuff. We're gonna be the guinea pigs and try all that out. But this is the one option out of the 3, I think, that were added onto this Jeep, a 2-liter turbo with the 8-speed automatic. Everything looks very similar underneath the engine bay here. I don't really see anything too crazy that's popping out at me. Maybe you guys will see something off camera that I did not, but man, I just keep admiring this color. I hope you guys like this color as much as we do, because there was a lot of comments, you know, this is Commando Green, this is the exact same paint code as Commando Green. I will fact check myself. This is PJ5 paint code. I'm not sure what Commando Green is, but I know that this looks different. So as we move along the side, we're gonna check out a couple things here. Now, I did crawl underneath the Jeep when I was looking at it. I did not see too many differences from the 24 to the 2025 when it comes to the undercarriage here. This has your aluminum knuckles, has your standard axle shafts on the front axle. It's obviously not a full floating axle unless we get under and check that out, but I don't believe it is. You've got your crash bar up under here on the corner, and this is a Sport, right? So we got Sport fender flares. Remember that debacle, Ryan, where everyone thought I was mocking the black fender flare when I was just mocking a Sport fender flare? I like ticked off a lot of people. I just said it's not, I just don't like the Sports. Yeah. Like I like the regular black Rubicon flares that are higher. I like those. But this also has a little trim piece in here for aerodynamical advantages right here. Right, yeah. Remember that? Yeah, that looks really cool on the front. But yeah, along the side, let's see. So we did put one mod on, we'll talk about it in the future, but rock stoppers we threw on right away. Just give them a little pitch as soon as we got the Jeep. Black and matte black trail rated badge, your Jeep badge, and then the Wrangler with the American flag, which on this color looks really neat. Looking along the side too, it's so stock, and I love it. I just love a stock starting Jeep. Clear side windows. Just like Ryan's Jeep, I'm so used to everything tinted. You wanna look through the back, you wanna look in here, you can see everything. And honestly, it's kind of neat because when I'm driving it, when I look out the rear view, you can see so crystal clear out the back. And my Jeep, it's all tinted, so it's like, what's going on back there? This thing you can easily see. We do have a set of street tires on there though. That's exactly what comes with this. And then, you know, just the standard Sport flares wrapping along. Stock tail lights on here, nothing on the back end really changed up. I mean, it's the exact same as what you would expect out of a typical Sport Wrangler. But here was one option that was added. Ryan, you want to we'll open up and show this really cool option in the tailgate. So this is the Jeep Trail Rated kit. Well, obviously we get a toolkit, comes with every Jeep. But this is a Jeep Trail Rated kit. It came in this box, and I was like, what is this? Well, it's a red bag, first off. And I was like, oh, I think it's like a tow rope in that. So we open it up. Mind you, we didn't order it, so. Jeep toe strap. Pair of XXXXL gloves. And D-ring. And a baggie. So that was 195 bucks. We didn't want to have it in here, but it comes with it. So
yeah.
What do you think we ought to do with it, Ryan? We have a huge rope sponsor about to come on the channel too. Yeah. So on the back tailgate too, even the placard here, nothing says really 25 on there. You can kind of zoom in and check that out. 2-door, 4-door, the water fording and all that. No trailer hitch on this one. We have opportunity to add that too. But man, is it nice to drive a stock Jeep. Ryan, you even drove this thing home. It is just
an hour and a half drive, and like
it is just like
there's just a smoother ride to it.
Yeah, I mean it's all stock, and we're on street tires too yet, so it's kind of like driving a little SUV.
I will say they could use a re-gear compared to
your 456s. This is 345s, but yeah, there's just something special for me about. I have a lifted 392 on 40s and everything. I think getting into this, and it's like, man, it's easy for me to get into because I'm not that tall. I'm not jumbo height. Yeah, along this side too. Same kind of setup on here. I do really like the contrast of the colors on here. This color is just perfect. I think with our plans, what we have going on with this Jeep, this color had to be what we did just because it's so indicative of a 2025. This color has not been on a JL at all, and I don't think it's the same as Commando. I don't think this has been on a Jeep yet. But one really interesting thing with this Jeep that Ryan picked up right away just because he has a base 2-door is the fact that the soft top is now sailcloth on the base. And I don't know if that's like an error or the fact that maybe Ryan's was an error, but this is sailcloth. So sailcloth is very familiar with a tonneau cover material. Ryan, listen to this. Like you hear my nails on it. It's very like tonneau cover style. It's a thinner material, but it's more water resistant versus the twill is a heavier fabric. It feels more like a cloth, a softer material. That's on yours, up on your Jeep. So it's that deeper black color. This is like grayish too. It's like tonneau cover on a truck. But I don't know if that's because this is a base that they started doing this, or maybe they just threw a top on, maybe they're trying to clear them out. It's weird that Ryan though ordered you'd had no options on yours, and you got that. And then this one got this. I feel like there might be something to do with the 41 supposed to be a late availability color, and this was somehow available. So maybe this is one like they're like, just assemble it, get it good, check it off the box, ship it out. Maybe we got something like that. I wish this was the twill with the tinted back windows, but we have plans with the top and all that anyways. Guys, we flipped the top back here, and everything in here is just about the same as a 2024. It's not really anything updated or new as far as we can see. The only major difference is because it's a base, you don't get as much. So like the auto dimming interior or the headlight sensor is gone. No auto dimming rear view, things like that on there. But you do get the heather gray seats with the bronze stitching, the light gray dash with the bronze stitching, and then just some miscellaneous bronze stitching throughout. So very, very similar to what you would expect out of a 2024. I'll be real with you, I don't think I like the heather gray with this exterior color as much as I do with Ryan's. Ryan's anvil with this really flows because they're hues of gray. So like you have like 50 shades of gray. But yeah, so we've got kind of the exterior, this brownish, this color going on. And then on this, we have like the charcoal gray and the lighter gray. Ryan, one thing I just noticed, feel right here on your door. Right in the door seam. Does it feel rough? I feel like that's a harder film there. Right here. You feel that?
Like right next to the...
Right next to where the door would close. It feels like the inside of the tailgate right here. No. Mine, that one does over there. This is smooth. Come over here. You got to feel this. That one's smooth. Feel this right here. Doesn't that feel like the inside of the tailgate, how they made it like textured protection? Yeah. But it's like all the way, maybe it's like some orange peel. Maybe we caught a paint error here. I thought that Jeep maybe did like a protection layer here when you have your doors off, because this is where rocks fly up and hit. Mud hits on our Jeeps all the time. Good idea for us. Maybe we'll come out with something like that. But no, I thought there might have been a difference there. I think it's just a little bit of error in the paint. But yeah, back on the interior, Ryan, you can see right through to the back seat. So very simple. It's a 2-door. I do like it. My little guy, Walker, it is Walker approved. He climbed back there. He was sitting in it. He was playing in it. And yeah, it's just kind of nice to start off with a base Jeep. And you never have your seat in. So this is cool to see one with the seat in. The only other option that was on this Jeep is right there on the floor. And it was optioned with the all-weather floor mats. So They got those in there for us, and that was the 3 options: the engine, the recovery kit, and the floor mats. The one thing we didn't have to option, because it comes standard on a 2025 now, power windows, power locks. I'm so sorry, Ryan,
Yeah,
but if you would have just waited a year and not been impatient, it comes on there. It's really cool, and I think you even said when you first got in, you're like, it is kind of nice to just be able to push the windows and go down. But you know, it's cool like that. I think that that's what they needed to do to make this kind of work out. Is this different than yours too? You ever see this on yours?
No.
That's
not. No, I don't recognize this at all.
Maybe they redesigned the top a little bit. That's different though. I've never seen that on there. So to be determined. We'll have the top ripped apart and play around with it, but I think it might be different. Before we get into why we bought this Jeep, we wanted to thank today's video sponsors, Onyx Off-Road. We've been using them for so long now and absolutely love their product and service. We will have Onyx Off-Road loaded in our phones, already on the wireless CarPlay in this brand new Jeep, once we have the build done and can take it out there and explore. One thing I really like that Onyx Off-Road just did is they helped with all the hurricane recovery relief in North Carolina, and those guys are just absolutely stand-up guys, and they make an incredible product. If you haven't checked out Onyx Off-Road for all of your off-road needs, be sure to do so and use our special code to help you save a little bit of money and support your boys. Now, why the heck do we add another Jeep to the fleet? I still have my 392. Ryan still has his 2-door. This is a company vehicle. Wow, look at that. First company vehicle is a base sport 2-door. We can really go to a lot of meetings and do a lot of circling back in this Jeep. Either way, we have a lot of reasons why we picked this up. So probably one of the first and one of the biggest ones is that we're going to be doing some work with a company you're very familiar with, Distinction Applied. And when I say work, you're going to be seeing a lot more of this Jeep with a lot more detailed installations on their page and on their site as well as their social media. So we wanted to get something that made sense color match wise to add all sorts of color match pieces. You know, we could have done that with a red Jeep, a yellow Jeep, a hydro blue Jeep, added on every color match piece, and then maybe you guys would say that's a little bit too much on their channel. I feel like with the theme, which we're about to get into, color matching everything on this Jeep will be absolutely fine. The second reason, we've already done a 4-door build on my yellow Jeep, a 4-door build on my blue Jeep, a 4-door build on my dad's Gobi Jeep, and a 2-door build on Ryan's Jeep. So we've kind of done some 4-doors, we did a 2-door, and we're straying away from all of those. This is going to be a build of its own with a specific theme, a specific goal, and a specific end result. And I think that's so cool for us, is because we're starting from scratch with a brand new vehicle with the idea perfectly laid out. And part of the other reason why we picked this up is because it is a 2025, and it's, as far as I could tell, the only one in 41 in the entire country. You guys might be able to correct me, but how neat is that we're able to add it to our fleet and be able to start off with those 2025 videos that you guys know and love from all the other generations. 2025 first mods, 2025 top 10 mods, diving into it, playing with the Uconnect, really getting all those videos out to you guys that are ordering these and picking them up, so that way you have some content to watch on these brand new Jeeps. Now, will we be doing some color match parts and Distinction Applied items? Absolutely, that's part of the build plan. Now let's get into that a little bit. The build plan for this Jeep. We have got the crazy idea based upon the color and the fact that it has 2 doors and that it's a base sport to make this a modern day Willys MB or GPW. You guys heard it here first. We are going to try and make this thing as original to a 1941 Willys MB as we can. Now, I'm not talking ripping out the entire dashboard and making it a flat dash and pulling all sorts of things off of it. I am talking burlap seats, tan top, steel bumpers. Make it a complete package. Keep the height small, keep it low like this, nimble, try and narrow down on some of that weight, and really, really make it cool. That is our take on this Jeep, to get it over on some 35 by 10.5s, really skinny tires, military wheels, skinny fenders, a steel front bumper with a nice worn winch in there, but make it a throwback to what you guys have kind of asked for with the 41 edition, that concept vehicle 2 years ago at Easter Jeep Safari. We are going to do 80 years later. So World War II ended in 1945. This is 80 years later in 2025. And I think what a perfect time to give it a throwback to that. But our good friend Jordan Hoke is coming up with all sorts of crazy graphics for this. We're talking old school World War II plain nose art, eagles, tigers, lightning bolts, bears, all the skulls, the crazy stuff you guys saw. None of the too crazy of the pinup stuff on there, but Ryan, maybe you can, no, don't throw any of that up on YouTube. But you guys know what I'm talking about. The front of those bomber planes that were fighting for our country that long ago. And then these Jeeps that 84 years ago in 1941, we're fighting right along with them. That's what we're trying to do. Make it nostalgic, add some interior touches where maybe we change the seats out. Maybe we swap some flooring out. We have all sorts of crazy cool things that when you see this, it is gonna make your jaw drop and you're gonna wanna check it out in person. But that is our plan with this Jeep, to go full out with it, make it more of a nimble build, more of that original Willys MB that was small, it was compact, it's easy to get in and out of, we can throw our gear in the back, and then it still cruises down the road at 80 miles an hour because it's got a modern drivetrain, a modern engine, modern axles, all that other fun stuff. It's not what your everyday Jeep. And I want people, when they see this thing, you know it's dirt road cred, you know what it's supposed to be. This will be a Jeep that you're like, I get what they were doing with that. That is neat. So our plan is obviously get started with some of that other fun stuff. Get our top fives, our first 10s, our first mods, dive into this a little bit, maybe throw it up on the lift down at Joe's, see what's under the underside of it. And then before Daytona next year, this Jeep's gonna be done and cruising the beaches of Daytona, and you guys will be able to check it out. We're gonna slate it right here in this video. That's the first show. It'll be done. We'll make it done by that show. You guys will be able to see it. And what we wanna hear from you down below in the comments is knowing the theme, knowing what we're going with, knowing what we're trying to do with this. We're looking for your help, our audience base, our viewers. Do you have maybe a relative, maybe your grandparents, your father, your parents, your uncles, were they a part of World War II? Do they have any cool nose art that you could email to us and then we could check that out and maybe incorporate it into our Jeep? Do you have an original Willys MB photo of you, your uncle, your grandpa in that area that you could send us, and maybe we'll do a little bit of mementos and collabs with that? You can send that to info@dirtroadcredmedia, and we would just be really happy to see that and then share it with that, because we want to kind of get our community involved too, right, Rye? Like, we want to get that feeling, that pride, that back into this build. So we want to honor the people that were actually there, and that's kind of something that we would love to do. Get your comments on what we should do with that kind of stuff. Maybe you have an idea or a good link for a type of material or a logo that we should put on the hood, something like that. Drop it down below, because we would love to hear from you guys. And I don't know if you could tell by the video when we did the colors how excited I was to see this, but now it is ours. So it's time to start. It's time to get this build going and make it just so badass. I just can't wait to see what this turns into. This is gonna be a really special piece for us, and it's gonna be something that you are not gonna wanna miss. So the entire build will be here on this channel, and we'll be updating this as often as we can. And I'll be honest, this is gonna make a great winter project. I just installed a mini split the other day in here, so we now have heat in the shop and we are ready to go. So we'll be out here, it'll be freezing cold outside, but Ryan and I will be building this Jeep and sharing it with you guys. So I'm excited to bring this to you, Ryan's excited to bring this to you, and we hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time though, we're gonna start drawing up some sketching ideas and really see what we can do with this thing. But Ryan's behind the camera and I'm in front of our brand new Jeep, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.